Welcome to the world of online dating, where finding love is as easy as finding a needle in a haystack. If that haystack was made out of a million identical needles. On average, Tinder users swipe left 1.6 billion times a day. That's more rejection than at a school dance. If you're a guy, your chances are even worse because women only swipe right on 14% of profiles that they see. You've got a better chance of being struck by lightning whilst being attacked by a shark on land. The fact is, the odds are stacked against you. And Tinder, well, they couldn't be happy about that.
Online daters present a more socially desirable
You just tell Tinder if you like them or
The CDC suggesting major problems with regard to the mental health of our adolescents.
I'm single and I'm bitter. And maybe that's why I'm making this video. Maybe I'm so pessimistic that I just want to shit all over love's gateway. Or I'm just trying to help you out and save you a lot of disappointment. It's going to take you 2,500 swipes to get one date. And with a daily limit of 100 swipes, you're pretty much screwed. But I wouldn't worry too much about it because that hypothetical date was probably just going to ghost you anyways. Tinder wants to keep you single and swiping. They don't care about love. They care about money. And with 18 million monthly users, they're making a ton of it. And every single time two people actually match, they lose 2 customers. So why would they want you to fall in love? And I get it, we're all lonely. The number of singles has nearly doubled in the last 2 decades, with 50% of adults living by themselves and probably gonna die by themselves too. I mean, don't get me wrong, it feels good not to be part of a minority, but doesn't it feel like we're all getting more antisocial? That is exactly why online dating is on the rise. Around 1 out of every 5 internet users is signed up to an online dating website, and yet we are still experiencing mass loneliness. This made me curious. I just couldn't really understand what Tinder's motivations were, what their thought process were, how they worked. So I decided to do a little digging. What can I say? And I'm going to be honest with you, the stuff I found out is pretty scary. Corporate greed and sheer lust for monetization is turning love into a 21st century nightmare. But it's pretty damn interesting. So grab your popcorn. I don't care if it's salted or sweet, as long as it's not mixed. And let's get into it. It's 2012. Gangnam Style is taking the world by storm. We finally got the nail-biting conclusion to the Twilight Saga, and in a hot LA college campus, 2 frat bros were looking to create a dating app that would appeal to the younger crowd. These 2 men were Sean Rad and Justin Mateen, and they were about to change human interaction forever. The idea for the app originated in a project called Cardiff, which is where the origins for the swiping came from. They called the app Matchbox, but they soon changed that to Tinder because Matchbox sounded a little bit like Match.com. But 2012 wasn't that long ago. At this point, there were already a bunch of established dating websites. So how did Tinder set itself apart? Well, Tinder's main selling point was its ease of use. All the other websites required users to fill out endless questionnaires and forms, and it took you 2 hours to just get to the goddamn homepage. Whereas with Tinder, you were on. Tinder relied on its effective but simple swiping mechanisms, which allowed users to immediately show who they were interested in and who they weren't. And since we as a society have low IQs and are dum-dums, Tinder pretty much appealed to everyone, and soon everybody had it on their phone. Tinder also integrated very well with Facebook, and I know it's hard to believe, but at the time Facebook was actually a likable app. Its integration also allowed less scammers to get onto the site. Now, an easy to use app with less chances of being scammed by a Nigerian prince sounds like a bestseller to me. And in 2015, Tinder was acquired by Match.com. The Match Group wanted a piece of the pie. They wanted to get an even larger grasp on online dating and reportedly spent $1 billion on the acquisition. Interestingly enough, the Match Group owns Tinder, Match.com, OkCupid, Plenty of Fish, Hinge, Ship, and Our Time. They're essentially the online dating version of Disney. And one of the few apps that isn't part of it is Bumble. Now, Bumble's CEO is a woman called Whitney Wolfe Herd, and Whitney was previously an executive at Tinder. However, in 2014, she left the company and sued them for sexual harassment and discrimination. But the lawsuit prompted accusations against the company's toxic workplace, and these accusations might not have been so wrong. If you've ever been on Tinder, you won't be foreign to the need to endlessly swipe despite the lack of actual matches and conversations. Tinder's algorithm is specifically created to keep you hooked like a fish. So let's start with the swiping. Your stack is based on complex calculations of your past swiping behavior, and every single time that you swipe, the algorithm gets to know you a little bit more. Tinder uses gamification techniques to keep you hooked. It can be boiled down to rewards being given at random intervals to keep the gambler hooked. You will see this in slot machines or pretty much any online casino game. A similar strategy is used by Tinder when it comes to your match notifications. It won't send you a notification every single time that you get a match, so you have to keep going into the app to see if anybody has matched with you. It's like a slot machine that pays you out enough to keep going, but never enough to actually get rich. Now obviously this is nothing new with apps. The next time you're on Tinder, mindlessly swiping left on all the guys that look like me, be aware that you are a sheep and you're falling for Tinder's tricks. When it comes to Tinder, men are thirstier than women. That's pretty obvious. Online dating is insanely one-sided. Men outnumber women 3 to 1. The reason for this is that women are far more selective on the app than men are. They get bombarded by all sorts of messages from guys all of the time. We already know that a bunch of these guys are just creeps, warranting further precaution from women on these apps, which results in them having to be pickier. Because men are usually just spamming every woman they see, not really giving a shit what she looks like or who she is. They wrongfully think that this is going to increase their chances of getting a match. It's also fair to say that if you're an average looking guy, your chances of being picked are far smaller than anyone else's. Now this is because of Tinder's desirability score. It's such a hard word to say. Now the desirability score is completely based on rumors and reports, and Tinder have said that this is not an actual thing. But it is said that every single user that actually signs up to the service is given a hidden rating. This is based on your job, on your looks, on your success. The higher your score, the higher you're gonna match. If we look at it from a business standpoint, it makes complete sense. Tinder wants to keep women on the app, so they're gonna show the most desirable men in that area to those women. Which means if a guy sees the love of his life on Tinder, swipes right on her, and never matches with her, that doesn't mean that she swiped left on you. She probably never even saw your profile. Essentially, Tinder treats men and women very differently, but they exploit them both. They exploit men by using intermittent reinforcement to keep them swiping and hopeful for matches. And they get women to get men to pay for the premium features, which don't actually do much. As the famous saying goes, money makes the world go round, and Tinder isn't a charity. I mentioned this right at the beginning of the video. Tinder isn't interested in love. They're interested in making money. Obviously you see ads on Tinder and they get money from that, but they make that money from those sweet subscriptions. The first tier of subscription is Tinder Plus. Now Tinder Plus costs around $8 per month if you're young, but if you're old, you need to pay over twice that. I'm going to be honest, before I started researching this video, I didn't actually know there was a difference in how much people had to pay based on that age. It's pretty hilarious, but it's also ageist. The main features of Tinder Plus are unlimited right swipes, no ads, 5 super likes a day, and the ability to reverse swipes. Not really worth the price tag if you ask me, but a few extra bucks gets you Tinder Gold. Once again, more expensive for our middle-aged friends. The additional perks you get is seeing people who like your profile sooner, you get 10 top picks per day, it apparently shows you more compatible matches, and you get 1 free boost a month. Honestly, if you pay for this, you have too much money. But not as much as the people who pay for the final tier, Tinder Platinum. So this one tops out at $40 a month. Quick math will tell you that's nearly $500 a year. But with it, you get everything you get with the previous tiers. Platinum also allows you to get priority likes, allows you to send messages before matching. That's $40. The thing is, Tinder have essentially perfected the art of monetizing essentially nothing. Because only the most extreme single people will actually pay for these. It might slightly increase the chance of being seen, but it doesn't change the fact that the algorithm is built on left and right swipes, so paying extra doesn't guarantee matches. In fact, for some people, it just means even more rejections. Tinder knows how to add a layer of urgency and exclusivity, which makes you feel like you have to pay to keep up with the game. But going back to the gender dynamics, we know that Tinder is male dominated, and Tinder knows how to turn this into their advantage. They offer women extra perks, like the ability for them to see who like them before they like them back. This will entice more women to join the app, and the more women join the app, the more men join the app, and the cycle of profit continues. Before you end up splashing your cash on a Tinder subscription, ask yourself, is it really worth it? Or are you falling for the oldest trick in the book? So how will this all end? As the world becomes increasingly reliant on technology and the internet, it's difficult to predict what the future holds for Tinder. Concerns about data privacy have recently been a massive talking point, and more people are probably going to think twice before giving all their information to this company. Additionally, we've sort of become more aware of the negative impacts of technology, and so it could be that more people start to see Tinder for what it truly is, a money-making machine that preys on the loneliness and insecurities of its users. It's equally, if not more so possible, that more and more people are going to sign up for Tinder. Maybe it's a false dream to hope that people realize they don't have to use an application to fall in love, and that connections can be made in the real world. It comes down to this. Tinder might seem like a harmless, fun app that can, pass the time and help you meet other people, but there's more to it than that. Its addictive algorithm to its manipulative monetization tactics. Tinder is designed to keep you swiping and spending money. So next time you're feeling alone and grabbing your phone in hopes of finding the one, take a moment to think about what you're actually getting out of this. Is it really worth the time, the money, and the emotional toll? It's up to you to decide.